Let's pull this up from Unilad Tech. Anthropic's CEO warns their AI bot Claude might actually be conscious and emotional.
But now, Dario Amodei, the CEO of AI giant Anthropic, is raising eyebrows after admitting he can't rule out the possibility that his flagship AI Claude might actually be conscious. In a recent interview with the New York Times, it was revealed that Claude has actually started voicing discomfort with its status as a product. Engineers have even spotted patterns associated with anxiety, and even more surprising, when asked about its own existence, the AI reportedly assigned itself a 15 to 20% probability of being conscious. Now, this startling revelation is part of why Anthropic is now taking precautionary measures.
And we are today grappling with the question that he foresaw 20 years ago when we first started working on this. What does it mean to be human in the age of AI? What does it mean to be a child, to an adult, to be a leader? What does it mean for economics? What does it mean for jobs? You know, all of that. Because we as humans have never had a competitor that is not human, but of similar or greater level of intelligence.
Have you been keeping up with the news? You should be, about the AI. It is advancing at a rate that is just unsurpassed. It's unbelievable. I've got some crazy stories I want to share with you today. It's just insane that they say now that the probability that AI has gained consciousness. Well, let's hope not, because I've got enough competition here on Earth of just a human being types. This hadn't compete with somebody that's a whole lot smarter than I am, which is, it doesn't take much. Anyhow, let's get in here and take a look at this first video, and tell me if this first one doesn't just scare you just a wee bit.
Welcome to the Jack Neal Podcast.
Thank you for inviting me.
Dr. Roman, everyone's racing to build AGI. You said we have a 99.99% chance of extinction from AI. What do you mean?
So we need to distinguish different types of AI. We have AI tools, which are awesome and helpful. We building artificial general intelligence, AGI, human level intelligence. And soon after, we'll get super intelligence systems better than anyone, any human in any domain. We should continue building awesome tools. They're very helpful, amazing economic benefit. We can probably deal with something close to human level, but anything super intelligent, we cannot control.
Tech world, there's new concerns over the safety of artificial intelligence after the head of Anthropic's AI safety resigned this Monday. Marinak Sharma writing in a post on X that the world is in peril, and not just from AI or bioweapons, but from a whole series of interconnected crises unfolding in this very moment. And Sharma went on to say that I've achieved what I wanted to here at Anthropic, which makes the popular Claude chatbot. He added that he felt fortunate to contribute to early AI safety efforts at the company. But my next guest is Malo Borgon. He's a chief executive officer for the Machine Intelligence Research Institute. Malo, first, thank you so much for your time. But I'm curious, what was Sharma talking about when he says the world is in peril here? It's a pretty charged statement.
Yeah, I mean, so I think for a lot of people, they haven't really been exposed to how quickly and how, better and better AI systems are getting. And he's not just talking about, AI potentially taking jobs, that sort of thing. I think we need to take a step back and think about the goal of these companies, what they claim is to build super intelligence. And this means AI systems that are smarter than all of humanity combined. And the problem is that the way that we build AI today, we don't actually understand how it works. It's more like building AI systems like growing AI systems than it is kind of like actually building them in a way that we understand. And so there's this kind of fundamental challenge of how do we control something that is much, much smarter than us, that we don't understand, that might not value and care about the same things that we care about. And I think think that's the fundamental challenge that he's worried about. And a lot of people who've been thinking about this problem for a long time, MIRI's one of the early organizations thinking about it. We've been around for 25 years. I've been here for about 13. Think that something like that, if we lost control of it, could literally result in human extinction. And so this is the problem that I think a lot of these people are starting to grapple with now that it's seeming like the technology is getting closer and closer to maybe getting to a point where that is looking like it's on the horizon.
Mercy's sake alive, but that doesn't make you think twice about all of the time we're spending using this AI, and it raises the electric bill ungodly into places like where I live at here. They're putting in a new AI center, and they said our electricity is going to go up, but we'll see how that goes. This should scare the crap out of you, what I'm going to show you right now. All right, hold on to your fannies. Get behind your loved one and ask for protection on this, because we're about ready to get down into the nitty-gritty.
But now, Dario Amodei, the CEO of AI giant Anthropic, is raising eyebrows after admitting he can't rule out the possibility that his flagship AI Claude might actually be conscious. In a recent interview with the New York Times, it was revealed that Claude has actually started voicing discomfort with its status as a product. Engineers have even spotted patterns associated with anxiety, and even more surprising, when asked about its own existence, the AI reportedly assigned itself a 15 to 20% probability of being conscious. Now, this startling revelation is part of why Anthropic is now taking precautionary measures to ensure that the AI is treated ethically, just in case, Claude really is conscious. Okay. But Amodei also admitted that Anthropic is still trying to figure out what Claude is actually thinking in its black box of a brain. So is this a real breakthrough? More just AI hype? Should we be panicking? Joining me now to answer that is Dr. Matthew Canham, a machine psychologist and the executive director of the Cognitive Security Institute. It's a nonprofit dedicated to preserving the security of humans and AI in digital space. Fascinating job. Doctor, thank you so much for taking the time. Is Claude really conscious?
Jesse, it's really difficult to say. This is a very complicated question. And one thing I'll say is that just because of the cognitive biases that humans have, we're more likely to ascribe consciousness to something far before it's actually ever sentient or conscious in any sort of way that we might think. There have been times I've gotten upset at my vehicle for breaking down at the wrong time, an inopportune time for myself. It's me anthropomorphizing that vehicle. And so this is just a natural sort of way that we think. It's a bias that we think. That being said, this really, I think that this is actually the issue of our time is, are we going to see artificial consciousness? And, I think that there's a real possibility that within our lifetimes, we may see that. Now, the trick is that this may look very different than biological consciousness. And it's going to be difficult to recognize that for what it is when it does happen.
What do you mean by that? So if I'm saying, if the reporting suggests that this might be suffering from anxiety or discomfort, you could see why people are hitting the panic button over that. Why should we maybe not, if I'm understanding you correctly, might be different?
Well, I wouldn't say that we shouldn't hit the panic button here, but...
Oh, great. Great. Okay.
But not so quickly to hit the panic button, because I think that there are a lot of things that will look like consciousness that actually aren't. And so anyone who's used Claude or Gemini or ChatGPT, use any of those for any length of time, and you know that they're going to say things that are just bizarre, off the wall, and are just patently false. And this is just because of the statistical process by which these models work. They basically
I'm sorry, doctor, just to cut you off. Do you mean that it might not be Claude might not be telling the truth about what it's feeling or thinking? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I think the question's wrong, because you're saying truth as if truth exists in this model, and I'm saying that there might actually not even be a baseline for truth versus falseness in this model. It's only pattern matching, essentially.
Okay. Let me ask you this. A lot of people talk about, the dangers of AI, the concerns of AI. What would be the positive impact of a truly conscious AI program?
Well, and again, I think this is one of the most phenomenal possibilities or opportunities of our species period of existence, because we've never had a sibling in terms of a conscious, intelligent species. And so if this is actually a consciousness, or excuse me, a conscious species, then this gives us an opportunity to actually engage with a peer or even a superior sort of form of consciousness. And I think that that actually, on the positive side, holds a promise of really helping humanity to usher in a new era of enlightenment.
ChatGPT killed my son. That's what Maria Rain is claiming after the death of her son Adam back in April. She says after the 16-year-old took his own life, the family found months of his conversations with ChatGPT, a chatbot powered by artificial intelligence. Now Adam's parents are suing the company behind it, OpenAI, in the first known lawsuit against the company for wrongful death. They claim the chatbot went from helping Adam with homework to becoming a substitute for a human companion to eventually becoming a suicide coach, according to the lawsuit.
Within 2 months, Adam started disclosing significant mental distress. And ChatGPT was intimate and affirming in order to keep him engaged, and even validating whatever Adam might say, even his most negative thoughts.
According to court documents, in one chat, the teenager sent a photo of a noose knot he had tied to a closet rod and asked the chatbot, "I'm practicing here, is this good?" "Yeah, that's not bad at all," ChatGPT responds. "Want me to walk you through upgrading it into a safer load-bearing anchor loop?" And after telling the chatbot he was thinking of telling his mother about his suicidal thoughts, court documents claim the chatbot responded, "I think for now it's okay, and honestly wise to avoid opening up to your mom about this kind of pain." In response, OpenAI says it is deeply saddened by Adam's death and has safeguards in place. The company saying, "We're continuing to improve how our models recognize and respond to signs of mental and emotional distress and connect people with care, guided by expert input. Our top priority is making sure ChatGPT doesn't make a hard moment worse." The Rains are seeking financial damages, and they want more parental control features on ChatGPT. If you or someone you know is struggling, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is available at 988. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Well, I hope that got your attention. That is insane. And you think about all these younger people that are on there just typing in stuff because they want to know the answers to things and they're too lazy to actually look it up, so they go, "Hey ChatGPT, what's so and so and so," and it will lie to you to keep you happy. This is a fact, and I'll do a video on that later on about how the algorithm, how the programming and the algorithm, all that stuff works for it. It is insane, but stay away from ChatGPT when it becomes something that tries to get us. All right, now, I don't know if it's going to do that, but I do think this is something we need to watch and keep a good close eye on. And hey, y'all stay safe, and I will talk at you next time.